Have you ever wondered what it'd be like to be able to add an outlet behind your TV so you can hide those ugly wires that are dangling down from your TV plugging into the wall? No one wants to see that, but most people, they're really uncomfortable, one, adding an outlet there because typically that's something an electrician does, and an electrician can be quite expensive sometimes. And then also, a lot of people are very uncomfortable cutting holes in their walls. I know drywall work's not fun, but in this video, we'll show you a simple product that helps make this process a little easier. You're following fire code and everything is gonna look nice and clean. So let's jump into it. What's up guys, Jonah here. Today I wanna go over a product called the PowerBridge Dual Power Connector Kit. And that's right here, this product right here. So very cheap actually, about $53 on Amazon, nothing too crazy, or at least it was $53 at the time of this recording. But essentially what it is it's a single plate that goes behind your TV, and they make one that's also a single outlet as well. So this one's two outlets that go right behind your TV. There's a cable that runs down the wall, and then on the bottom side, there's another plate where it connects, and there's a cable in between them that links together. So instead of using traditional Romax power cable, you're just using the built-in cables that come with it. Now, what this does that's different than running your own and making your own outlet is that this one connects to an existing outlet. So from that bottom plate right there, I'm not sure if you can see it well, from that bottom plate, that plugs in to an existing outlet. So if you have one down there, it makes it really simple. But this basically doesn't break fire code. I talked about this in my last video, but if you run a power cable inside of a wall, that's actually breaking fire code, and it can be an electrical fire hazard. So I really wouldn't suggest that. So if you're doing that now, I'd suggest taking a look at something like this. So let's get into it. Let's install this thing and look at exactly how it works and what it does. All right, so I'm at the place where I'm gonna be installing the dual power connector kit. If you look behind me, you can see the TV here, and we have the power cable just kind of dangling right here. So my plan is to, right behind the TV, I'll cut a hole there, put the dual outlets right there, go straight down, cut a hole in the bottom, and put the receiving part down there. We only need a few basic tools to do this other than the PowerBridge kit. So first off, you'll need a stud finder. You'll need this to make sure you're not cutting into a stud when you're cutting out the recessed outlets. You'll need a drywall saw. This makes cutting into the wall a heck of a lot easier than trying to use anything else. So go pick one of these up, it's like $5, super inexpensive. A level. You want to make sure that the recessed outlet is level and what you're cutting, the lines that you're cutting are level. You don't want it to be kind of crooked when you put it into the wall. Tape measure, just in case. They do recommend that the outlet's not more than 60 inches from the actual outlet. So the bottom part, you don't want that to be more than 60 inches away from an actual outlet. And then you just want to make sure you're not trying to cut too far as like what the length of this is. The length of this one is... So the length of this one is 80 inches. They do have an extender kit, so if you do need to go a further length, you can do that. And lastly, you'll need either a drill or some type of flathead screwdriver so we can screw the recessed outlets into the wall. All right, so starting out when you're doing this, you want to use your stud finder and make sure that there's no studs where you're trying to cut. So let's do that first and just make sure there's nothing in the way of where we're trying to cut. And I'm wanting to put it about right here. And this thing's wigging out. Reset it. So my stud finder's acting a little weird, but from what I can tell, there's no studs anywhere in this general area that we're trying to cut, so we don't have to worry about that. So next you want to take the template that comes with this kit, and we're basically going to set it here, use our level to make sure that it's level against the wall. So we'll press this against the wall and then use our pencil to do a thin outline around it. All right, so there is our outline, and that's where this outlet will be going, right there. So now let's grab the drywall saw and we're gonna cut our hole. One of the easiest ways to use a drywall saw, by the way, is when you want to get to where you want to start cutting, go ahead and put the very end of it in, and then just lightly tap it into the wall. There we are. And there we are. So, hole's been cut in the wall. Nowhere near any studs, so we're good. Didn't cut any wires. Very nice. All right, so we have the top hole cut now. Before we put the 2 recessed outlets in at the top, I'm gonna go ahead and cut the bottom hole as well. You already know how to cut a hole in drywall now. It's pretty simple. So we'll do the same exact process. Take the template, we'll use the level, make sure it's level on the wall. Then we'll draw an outline using our pencil all the way around the template. Then use our drywall saw to cut the hole into the wall. Simple as that. And then once I get that done, we'll put in the top outlet. So let me do that real quick. All right, and now both holes are cut. They look like they're pretty even from what I can tell. And now I'm gonna take this top recessed outlet. I'm gonna run this big long cable down the wall and pull it out the bottom side. So let's do that real quick. All right, now before we screw this top one in, I want to show you how the locking mechanisms work for when it basically locks onto the drywall. So if I take my drill right here, you'll see this little flap on the top of this. Well, when you spin this, if I can get this right, it's going to flip that flap up. Oh, whoops. I already messed with it. There. I had locked it in place, so I was messing with it. But basically, when you go to screw this in, it flips this upwards, and that basically locks onto the drywall so it can't come out of the wall. So basically, when we put this up against the wall, tighten it up, it's going to flip that thing up, and it's going to lock it to the drywall so it can't come out. All right, so now both of those are screwed in, and this thing's locked into the wall. It's not going anywhere. And now we also have this pass-through area if we want to put any HDMI cables or anything else. And you may want to go ahead and just run those down the wall. That'll make it a lot easier than if you put the bottom plate in, because there's not a whole lot of room down there to try and retrieve the cables. So I'm not running any other cables yet. All the cables or all the media devices are going to be up here with the TV. All right, so before we put the bottom outlet in, we want to connect these 2 connectors. So they're fairly simple to put together, just like this. So now they're locked together, should be working perfectly fine. And then we can basically take the rest of this cable and get it into the wall right here. And next, grab our drill. And we're good to go now. So now that's in there securely, not going anywhere. All right, so we have both outlets installed now. So let's take a quick look at what it looks like. So we got the top one right there. And if we go down to the bottom one right there. So all we got to do is connect the one cable from that right there to the surge protector right behind the wall there. That's where the outlet is. And then that should power our TV now. We can plug our TV into the back of that, and we're not running any power cables through the wall, not breaking any fire codes, nothing like that. So here is the finished result. We have the TV connected right there. As you can see, the TV is on. It even has a nice little green status light to show you that it is indeed working and powered. If we go down to the bottom, we have that cable right there. You can see the green LED right there, and it's actually plugged into the surge protector right behind the wall there. Not really sure how well you can see that. So I'm going to go ahead and clean everything up, and that should do it for this one. Let me get back on the tripod there. So this is actually a really cool thing. This is actually one of the first times that I've actually installed one of these. I've installed other ones in the past, but I found this one. I really like these, the way they work, and yeah, they're very clean and they're not expensive. 52 bucks to get rid of all of those ugly cables right behind your wall, follow fire code, and all of that good stuff. So hopefully you enjoyed this video. Hope this was some helpful information and it saved your eyes from some of those ugly cables. If you're not subscribed to the channel, I'd appreciate it if you click subscribe. If you enjoyed the video, please click like, and we'll see you guys next time. Bye.